Cerys likes Roach, a discarding kind of deck for Skellige. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is TheSparrowsJourney, this is Gwent. Today we are going to take a look at a deck that I've been using myself a lot with Skellige. It's sort of a mix between discarding deck together with Cerys, which is a card that gets a lot of points from Queen's Guards. Long story short, what you are doing over here is trying to bring the cards that you need in your hands. It all surrounds the Pirates, the Queen's Guard, Cerys, Roach, and obviously the discarding cards. So let's clear the board and add one by one to have an idea of what they do and how they work. So let's start by the golden cards. Ermion is a discarding card that discards 2 cards to your graveyard and it pulls out 2 of them from your deck. And it allows you to discard the cards that you pull out from your deck. That's why it's so valuable. And by discarding cards like the Raiders, you will be able to put them on the board. Svaringa does almost the same thing, but it only draws and discards 1 card. And it's also a silver card, which allows you to buff it. It allows you to res it with Sig, which is something you cannot do with Ermion. Cerys is one of the foundations of this deck. And let me explain why. Well, basically because I choose to run with Queen's Guard. And what the Queen's Guard does is it adds 1 value to Cerys once the Queen's Guard is put on the table. And what the Queen's Guard does also is whenever you play one, all of the others currently in the graveyard will be played as well. So what you want to do is you want to discard Queen's Guards. The first chance you get, play Queen's Guard, so that the more times you play Queen's Guard on the board, the more Cerys will be buffed. Geralt Igni. You can have this, or you could have something else. You could replace Geralt Igni with Scorch. I mainly use this card to have a Scorch on my deck. Regis is completely optional. You can either go with Regis, you can go with, and one card I think would replace Regis really well, Madman Lugos. Regis allows you to have points along the match. So you want to play it either on the first round or the second one in order to carry on to the next rounds. We are done with the golden cards. Let's stop by the silver cards now. The Myrtirium Bomb is most likely one of the most valuable cards that you can have in Gwent right now. Also because it recently got buffed, now it not only resets the value of silver and bronze cards, but also golden cards. Sig got recently buffed as well. And you want to have another res, which is Restoration. This allows you to combo, for instance, Restoration with Sig. So you cannot res Priestess with Priestess anymore because they all belong to the same category, now called the Medic category. What you can do is doing a chain with Sig, Restoration, and Priestesses. Pirates is that card that people really undervalue, I would say. The Pirates is a card that when you play one, all of the others are sent to the graveyard. Why is this so important? And a lot of people don't understand this. You are basically thinning your deck to have a bigger chance to have the cards that you really need on your hands. Also, the Pirate is immune to Fog, which is great against, for instance, monsters. Let's go around and add 2 Shieldsmiths. It was one of the best cards, I would say, in the game. With the recent nerf, they are not as good, but they are still valuable because any increase to the base strength is valuable, especially with Skellige. When you do a discard, you want to do it on, for instance, a Queen's Guard or a Raider. The Raider is a card that you choose it for discarding. It gets put on the table. You bring a new card to your hands, a useful one hopefully, and you put Svaringa on the board, and you put also one of the Raiders on the board. That is by itself 8 points, which is pretty good for the simple fact that you got a new card along with that as well. So Raiders, Queen's Guards, Pirates, Svaringa, and Ermion, all of them contribute for a really good balance in discarding cards and having the ones you really need in your hands to eventually win the match. In this build you have 4 golden cards and ones that play really well with Roach. I would like to mention Cerys. On the 3rd round, you most likely already had all your chances to bring Queen's Guard to the board. To bring them to the board, have them killed, bring them again with the Priestess of Freya, for instance, and all of that will add value to Cerys. So you want to keep Cerys for the very last round. When you play her, you will eventually bring out Roach as well. And there is no chance that Roach was not added to the board already in the previous rounds, because not only it comes out to the board when you play a golden card, but it also comes to the board when your friend, your enemy, brings a golden card to the board as well. So if you want to choose, for instance, to buff Roach with Shieldsmith, you can. It's a very, very good idea to do that, because it will be added to the base strength. Roach will eventually go back to the graveyard at the end of the round, but on the next one, if you play a golden card, you will come back with the added buff from the Shieldsmith. One thing you need to worry about, you need to be careful not to let the opponent steal Roach from your graveyard. If you are playing against monsters, the best choice is to choose other card to buff. Do not choose Roach, because he will eventually get stolen from you from your graveyard. He will play in favor of the monster guy and no longer you, which is a really bad thing. Morkvarg is currently one of my favorite cards in the game. He's kept on the board no matter what. If your opponent chooses to strike it, sure, let him do that. He will come to the board even though he will lose 2 strength. It's pretty much like the cow card that you have and you start with when playing Gwent, but Morkvarg allows you to bring it back every single time the round finishes. It's also another card that you don't lose much by discarding it. Morkvarg is also a good card to choose to buff with Shieldsmiths. We are missing damage. So what I choose to complement that is special cards that can provide damage, and that is Tremors, and also 1 Lacerate. This is one of the weaknesses of this deck, is that it doesn't have much control over the board. Overall, I didn't have many troubles with that, and the bomb can mostly take care of those moments where people just choose to buff the heck out of their cards. The bomb should always be kept for the very last moment of the round. Also, the Dimitrin bomb works really well with Crown and Crate leader ability, which is bringing 2 Crate warriors to the board. They both have 5 strength, but they are weakened. So if you use the Dimitrin bomb after that, they will go up to 7, meaning that overall you get 14 strength, which is a lot. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if that would be something you would change, or let me know if this deck works for you if you eventually try to use it. I'll put the link for it in the description of this video so that you can check exactly what cards are we talking about. And finally, I'm going to leave you with a match, an example of how this deck can work pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been TheSparrowsJourney, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Give us all you got!
Everyone does the same with Skellige right now.
You wanna pass, you gotta pay. Can't let you through elseways.
Always play the pirate.
Hey, me!
Then you do this. Might want just to pass.
Out with the crowns. Come on, quick now.
Still going for it. He's buffing the pirate, which is a card that can only be brought in if he's rezzed.
More hawk devour ye!
I'm gonna have a really good Ermion, hopefully. And we'll get this round.
I shan't let you down!
What did he discard? Discard a hunter? No, clear weather. Okay.
I can help you if you wish.
Too bad I don't have weather in this deck.
It's boring just standing here.
Pansy.
Anything in particular interest you?
He's going to pass. Oh, not yet.
So what? Should I pound it into a poker?
You really gonna
So
invest in this one?
the goddess protect you from all evil.
For him
Nice. That was lucky.
We serve her who is virgin,
He's still going
mother,
for
and
it.
crone.
Okay.
So what? Should I pound it into a poker?
I don't know why would you invest so much in this round, but okay. It's your call. I need to do something about this line. You can't scorch those two. And I cannot use my leader ability. I need to res a Childsmith.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
Got the heart of an uncrate.
I'm confused. Not tremors, come on.
Step careful there.
I hate portals.
Modron Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
Billion barrels of burning pitch.
I'm ready. Modron Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
You wanna pass, you gotta pay. Can't let you through elseways.
Any last words?
The goddess protect you from all evil.
Three points plus 7, that's 10. 10 points on this guy alone. I don't want any more siege units, so I think I'm gonna go with that guy.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
Give us all you got!
You're good. Real good.
Any last words?
Oh, so close. Generally speaking, this deck is working pretty well.